So I'm going to delve into this painting here. It's a painting of this image I found on pixabay.com of this dog looking up to the sky in a field of roses. It is similar to a painting I did a couple of months ago of a dog stuck in a bed of roses. Um, However, a lot of differences. I mean, there's a lot less roses and more dog to paint. So it's very interesting. I'm more focusing here on the dog. I try my best with the characters, where the background, I do, want to get better at backgrounds and things like that. So I do try to get that underway and get that going. However, I wanted to I'll spend a little bit more time on that character and a little less time on the background. Um, Usually that's the way I work, but it's usually I try to do 50-50, where I do spend a little bit more time on the background. One of my old, well, older art teachers, older art teachers, um, from years back, not too old, but a teacher I had a while back. She looked at one of my art pieces I did. I did this. It was a good drawing of the bunny, but the background was just complete. Not that great. And yeah, she told me, yeah, that the background was making the rest of the image look like a child's drawing. So it's really, you've got to work on both. You can't have a background that looks like a child's drawing or whatever, um, with a really good image. Either, cut it out, don't have the background at all, or paint, get better at painting those backgrounds. It is challenging, and I'm still working on it. It's something I do every now and again. Sometimes I do these 90-minute art challenges where it's just me doing background kind of things. And yeah, I'll try and work on it the best I can. However, for this image, you see me here. I'm going through painting this dog, trying to get all the shades right, and the color tone, get things fitting in the right space. You saw me vaguely kind of place in the background. Um, However, yeah, I didn't go into too much detail. There's not much detail though in the background. Most of it is focused on that dog there. If you look at the image, this image here, most of the focus is on the dog, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to try and understand it a little bit better. We're understanding, trying to a focal point, and trying to make the rest of the image not so focal, and trying to understand that and try to make that good, because I tend to get into this habit of over rendering everything. So doing this 90-minute art challenge to get me understood a little bit more about, or improving, taking some mileage, putting some some grasp in my belt, understanding a little bit more here about making this dog here the vocal point, um really will help in the long run. It's practice, and it does take over and over again to do. You got to get it right. um Often I would have something in the background that's dragging your attention a bit too much. And try to stay away with doing these 90-minute art challenges. Help me a lot, because it does let me focus on these little issues and understand, because I do these 90 minutes. I don't have all that time to fiddle with every little mistake I might make. Um, and I can then, review it like I review it now, and see kind of what I did right, what I did wrong, some more points of focus for next 90-minute art challenges to work on. Um, it's surprising what you can do. I've done them for so long, and I would have thought, I wouldn't be able to achieve this painting at all within 90 minutes. And now, done it for a year or so. Um, I definitely, a painting like this, you can see just, um, how much better it looks compared to a 90-minute art challenge I did two years ago. It's just awesome to do, so feel free to go do it yourself, to go find this image on pixabay.com, an awesome website where I source most of my imagery because it's copyright free, and they just have some really awesome photographs on there. It's great to find some good photographs that isn't your typical kind of Google or um, maybe Instagram, because that's more typical, or Facebook. Those kind of images. Lots of people see most of those images, and usually if it's on Instagram or like other art websites, usually yeah, someone's painted it already. But it don't matter too much. But it's not your typical images, and they are well curated, well shot images in there, which is awesome. Great lighting, great, and that's what you look for with an image. How you can paint it, what you can do, what you can change, and what you can play around with some of those images. Um, yeah, they're just awesome to see, and it helps you tenfold by finding good reference to paint from. Um, yeah. So yeah, it was lots of fun doing this, and I did learn a bit. I applied some of the techniques I've been using in the past, um, and playing around. I'm still, I was thinking of doing more of the blocking method because it's a cool method that I used a little while back. Um, so I did something similar starting off with the blocking method. I blocked in color. So similar but different, I just drew the outside and kind of paint bucketed in. But yeah, I think the blocking method is a good method. And I could have used it in this image. I think it would help me a little bit more if I did. But that method obviously is a little bit more newer, on the new side of using. I don't use it too much, or not very comfortable with it yet. Um, so doing it within a 90-minute art challenge is, yeah, definitely challenging because I'm not so comfortable with it. That it could just, it might take a while to get a grasp, and sometimes that's what happens. Especially with different images and different imagery, you learn some, new tricks or new skills that you're not fully comfortable with, and it does take you time to use those skills. Um, but really understanding them and using them, once you do, get a good grasp on them, it does help you tenfold. It opens up so many, doors. I've noticed that with some of the skills and things that I've used in the past, like blocking in my background here, using a soft brush to paint in um, some of these roses, you know, not making too much contrast in the background. Some of these things I've played around with in some of these 90-minute art challenges, that I definitely have not felt too comfortable doing it per se, because I haven't fully used all, like, some of these skills all the time. I'm not familiar with them. I'm still learning them per se. In some of these 90 minutes, obviously I've got grasp on some of them now. Um, or even like back in the day painting fur or something like that. It was something new. So just taking some time out to deal with some of these things does help you tenfold, because like I said, it opens gates up. Um, and you can achieve something like this within 90 minutes. I mean, I'm quite happy with the results. I think some of the background needs work now. If I was to move forward with it, I think the dog's looking okay. Bit of the pose might need fixing up or something like that. But now I think background is really where I would work on it if I was to work on it a bit longer. But other than that, I'm quite happy with the results. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. You've learned something new. You keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video.